Hi, Melinda here, coming to you from the Craft Shack. I want to welcome you all and thank you for joining me here today. For those of you that are new to my channel, I am the owner of Beyond Tumblers and Mystique Glitter. Today I'm going to be showing you how I do a Cowhide Sunflower Messy Bun Tumbler. This tumbler was actually inspired by one of my customers. The glitter colors I'll be using today are Wedding Bells, a fine chunky mix, Hathor, a chunky mix, and Marigold, which is a Sliver Iridescent. All three of these colors can be found on my website, mystiqueglitter.com, and my Etsy shop. Those links will be down in the description below, along with my links to my private Facebook group and whatever supplies we'll be using today. But first, before we get started, let's go ahead and click that subscribe button and give me those thumbs up. Also, if you would like to comment on how much you love this video or have any questions at all, go ahead and leave those down below. Now, let's go ahead and unleash that inner sparkle and get started. Alright, so I have all the supplies we're going to use in the first part of this video already laid out. I've got a 20-ounce skinny tumbler from Stainless Depot Company that's already been sanded and spray painted with Rust-Oleum flat white spray paint. I've got my Wedding Bells fine chunky mix, and that you can actually find on my website, mystiqueglitter.com, or on my Etsy shop, and those will be listed in the description below. Then we have Pitch Black Alcohol Ink by Tim Holtz, and last but not least, the Illumilite Fast Acting Epoxy. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just marking my medicine cup. I'm going to make up about 5 mils of epoxy, and we're going to just stir it up, and then before we put this epoxy on our tumbler, I'm going to go ahead and heat it up with the heat gun. Now I started doing this because I really get a better spread with it, and I don't use as much of the epoxy. It allows me to get that nice thin coat that I need. So we're just going to heat up this tumbler. You don't put much heat on it, and we'll add the glitter to it and then go ahead and let that dry for about 3 to 4 hours. Now while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and print out my sunflowers and prepare that white water slide. Okay, it's about 3 hours later. I've got the lid on my tumbler. Now, one of the reasons why I put a lid on the tumbler is so I know exactly where I want to place those cow spots. Now, when I'm placing the cow spots, I'm kind of visualizing where I'm going to put the messy bun lady and all my sunflowers. Also, you'll see that I am wearing gloves. Now, I'm pretty messy when I start working with alcohol ink, and here in just a minute you'll be able to see exactly how messy I get. I tend to get it all over my hands, so again, that's why I'm wearing gloves. Now when you make your cow spots, just know this is your tumbler and you can make them as big as you want, as small as you want, or have as many as you want. Once we have the cow spots on, you're going to go ahead and spray with the Rust-Oleum Matte Clear. Once that's dry, you'll go ahead, and I put about 30 mils of epoxy for the first coat. I ended up doing a second coat and used about 20 mils. You want to get this as smooth as possible for those sunflowers. So it's the next day and I am ready to sand. Now I'm going to take this time to get those edges really smooth and make sure that whole cup is just smooth. Once I'm done sanding, I'm going to go ahead, spray on some alcohol and wipe it down with paper towels. Now, if you remember, I went ahead and used white water slide. And the reason for this is because I know I'm going to put those sunflowers on some of those cow spots. And so that I'll be able to see those sunflowers, I use the white water slide. Again, you can use, or you can make these sunflowers as big, as small as you want, and as many as you want. I like a lot of sunflower on there, so I'm using quite a bit. I think the next time I make this tumbler though, I'm going to go ahead and make my sunflowers a little bit bigger. Also, what I'm thinking about doing is actually making like a bunch of sunflowers bunched up and putting around the cup too. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead for this week's vlog number 8, I'm going to show you how I prepare my white water slide. I don't know if it's any different than anybody else, but when I use white water slide, I usually cut it out on my Cricut, the images out on my Cricut. So I think that's, I'll show you guys on vlog number 8 how to do that. Now once I'm done putting all these sunflowers on, I am going to go ahead and wait about an hour for them to totally dry. And then I'll go ahead and you'll see me here in just a second putting on another layer of epoxy. Now this layer of epoxy, I'm only using about 10 mils. Once it's all dry, you're ready to give it another sanding and put on your messy bun lady and your wording. Now, depending on what messy bun lady you're using will depend on what you will use. I am doing the cow print, so I'm just using black vinyl. If I were to use the sunflower messy bun, then I would use either the water slide or printable vinyl. So I've got my lady and wording on. Now I'm going to spray with Rust-Oleum Clear Matte. Then I'm going to sprinkle on Hathor and Marigold while it's still wet. Now Hathor is a holographic chunky mix, and Marigold is a Sliver Iridescent, and they're both beautiful colors. I just love these two colors. When I first made this tumbler, I was very hesitant to do this part. I was like, God, how's it gonna look? But let me tell you, I fell in love with it. One of the reasons why I waited to put these on was because I actually want that glitter to come up when I'm putting on the epoxy. You can do it either way. You can do it before you put on the messy bun when you're doing your third coat of epoxy. I choose to wait so it just kind of travels up a little bit to that top. So I'm just going to finish putting this coat of epoxy on, and then once it's dry, I will end up putting the final coat on. Once that final coat is dry, I will be back to show you the final result. Okay, here is the final look at this tumbler. Now just know that it's very important to make sure you leave plenty of room for your messy bun lady. You can see that I got a little carried away with my cow spots. If I was making this for someone, I would redo it, but since it's mine, I'm good with it. Now let me know your thoughts about this tumbler and video in the comments. And if you haven't already done so, click that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give me those thumbs up. Also, check out my website at mystiqueglitter.com if you are interested in the glitters I used in this video. The colors and links are listed in the description below, along with the links for the supplies used and the links to my social media, including my Facebook group. I would love to see you all there. Until next time, have a great, wonderful, and safe week. Love ya. Bye.